music quarry. This is on the prairie, my soul's survivor. Check me. You know the man I call me, same brother, same shoes, me, I can travel the world with my knapsack on the back. You know my music, said me, to let you know in the city, you show us pick you never saw Haiti or Santo Domingo, Kinshasa to Bombay. It's the same thing in your ear when you wanna party. Give me a, I like that, come again. I go for life in my school bus, learning français till I take the dust.
Si c'est rien qu'on parler, rien qu'on danser, si c'est pas fait qu'on s'y ou j'ai voyagé, ou t'es parti pour vrai d'autres pays, à présent qu'on est de la vie.
You're looking at a music warrior, I'm a sound librarian. I spread love, city to city, Africa, West Indies and Haiti. Selection say, come again with style from all around. De janvier à janvier c'est pas janvier, c'est pour évoluer. De New York City jusqu'à Soweto day. My music never dies, just illuminate. Better recognize with the cry in the eyes. You're looking at a music world, I'm a celebrant. Spread love city to city, Africa, West Indies and Haiti. You're looking at a music world, I'm a celebrarian. Spread love city to city, Africa, West Indies and Haiti. I've been traveling from China to America like a troubadour. Nigga from Antarctica. Now all I want to do is sing my song. Yeah, hell, they can try and they can't prove me wrong. Yeah, you're looking at a music warrior, I'm a celebrarian. Spread love city to city, Africa, West Indies and Haiti. You're looking at a music warrior, I'm a celebrarian. Spread love city to city, Africa, West Indies and Haiti. You're looking at a music warrior, I'm a celebrarian. Spread love city to city, Africa, West Indies and Haiti.
Elles sont envie de voyager, elles sont pas là pour changer. Est-ce que ça fait comprendre ça? Tout ça tient à balin. Elles sont envie de voyager, elles sont pas là pour changer. Est-ce que ça fait comprendre ça? Tout ça tient à balin.
We're looking at a music version, I'm a celebrity. Spread love city to city, Africa, West Indies and Haiti. You're looking at a music version, I'm a celebrity. Spread love city to city, Africa, West Indies and Haiti. You're looking at a music version, I'm a celebrity. Spread love city to city, Africa, West Indies and Haiti. You're looking at a music version, I'm a celebrity. Spread love city to city, Africa, West Indies and Haiti.
You're so good, 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 you're so good. You're so good, you're so good, you're so good, you're so good, you're so good.
Welcome to Club Shada episode 341. I hope everybody's doing great. I hope everybody had a great weekend, a good Sunday for those of us who are already at the end of Sunday, and also for those who are still in the afternoon out there in North America and other places. I hope everybody's doing great. My name is Kaysha. Welcome. This show is brought to you by Shada, where Gods of Good Fortune. Thanks to our stream royalty, Mike Phoenix, with a $12 donation. If you want to become the stream royalty, it will cost you $13. Thanks to all the sponsors who are supporting this show. And why is my skin dry? I can see that my skin is dry. Damn. Need to put some oil. Or is it me? Yeah, maybe it's just the glasses. Who knows? Anyway, I hope everybody's doing good. Listen to me. Now we're talking. Jujuzan, how are you? I hope you're doing good. Bruno, what up? Ecam has to do something about this. Not being able to turn person turquoise waving into an actual emoji. I mean, YouTube has to also give possibility of people to just be able to fetch the emojis. But listen, you know how it is. Put the flag of where you're watching from and what time it is, where you are watching from. It is 10:40 p.m. here in Lisbon, Portugal, the land of the pretty boy. That's where I live. Free. What up, Black Free Thinker? I hope you're doing good. What's going on for you? Oh, Joel Amen. Long time. But listen, Joel, I had a question for you. I had a question for you, Joel. I don't know if you remember. It is 5:40 p.m. in Syracuse, New York. Listen, Joel, I don't know if you remember when we were kids. But listen, You're gonna laugh. I don't know if you remember back when we had a house in Waterloo in Belgium. So, this fridge. Give me a second. As I was saying, Joel Amen. Listen. Oh, Ontario, Canada, 5:41 p.m. So, Joel, there you go. I don't know if you remember back when we had the house in Waterloo. So I'm talking not Avenue du Manoir, not the big mansion. Before, we had a smaller house with like 4 bedrooms. I don't remember, but it was, there was a thing that you climb, and then there was a Deleuze, and then we had like this small neighborhood, and it was the same neighborhood as what's the name of this family? Congolese people. The father used to work at the embassy. The biggest daughter, what's her name? She was very, very light skinned with blue eyes, and then everybody else was more black. I'm forgetting. Anyway, I don't know if you remember that house. We used to bike together, you and me. That's when me and Suke, we did me and Suke actually. I don't know if you remember. We were probably, 12, 13, 14. But it was our first house in Waterloo. Tantine Adele used to live in Tantine Adele Adele and the sisters, Cathy and the other one. They used to live down the La Pente. So as you would go up, you had the house of Tantine Adele, and then you would go up more, and then you would have my neighbors, our house, and a little further you had the house of this Congolese family, I don't remember, and then you had the Kimbunu, they were more in road. So I don't know if you remember that time, right? But it was the same time that we did a bike accident. You, me, and Suke. We like in the neighborhood. Like I think one of the bikes, like they crossed together, and one of the wheel of the bike just went away. I don't know if you remember that time. So anyway, I think I was 14 and you were 15, and you told me a story. What was the story that you told me? You told me a story where yeah, it was you. You told us a story, me and Suke, that some guy tried to grab you in a park. Oh, Black Rethinker. Thank you so much. Listen, I don't know why I thought about this. New Stream Royalty, Black Freethinker. So listen, Joel, you told us, me, Suke, probably, I don't know if Mountain of Inspiration, he was probably 12. I don't know if he was there that day. Because it was you, me, Suke, maybe Yale. Listen. And you told us that some guy tried to grab you in the park to molest you. I don't remember. And then you told us that in desperation, you bite his balls. And that's how you got away. Listen, I don't know why I thought about this story, but I was like, yo, this story is so strange. Joël Amel, yeah, you don't remember the story. You don't remember that story? Yeah, it was you. I remember, listen. Yeah, it was you. You don't remember that story? Listen, yesterday I was there chilling. I don't know why this story came back to my head just like that. After 40 years, I was just like, wait a minute. You bite that guy in the balls. And that's how you run away. I remember when you told us that, we were like, whoa. It was you. You remember in that neighborhood, it was like there was like a long alley, and then it was a roundabout, and we would take the bike to go there and then go back. It wasn't you. Listen, in my head, it's you who told that story. In Belgium, back when Uncle Kibumlu was the ambassador in Belgium, and my dad was the ambassador in France. So you bite somebody in the balls, somebody has the print of your teeth in their balls. You have to pray for that person. Pray for forgiveness. I can't wait for your wife to hear. The things kids tell to each other. Lord. Oh my God. Listen, yesterday I have no clue. I was there chilling on my sofa. And then all of a sudden I was like, yo. I remember. Now listen, that was a very nice neighborhood, but he was telling us that it was not in our neighborhood that it happened. It was somewhere else in Brussels. And yeah, oh my God, that was great. I can't believe you don't remember that story. That was a crazy story. Oh Lord. Oof. Thank you again, Black Free Thinker, for your donation. Lord. You say it's not you. Listen, in my memory don't lie to me. It was you. Or was it the middle brother? Was it Dede? No. It was you. I remember it was you. I remember your face telling us this. Me and Suki were like, oh my God, Lord. And what did you do? I bite him in his balls. And then he let me go, and then I run away. Listen, we were kids. Maybe you invented that story. I don't know. Oh, Lord. An amazing memory. Oh, my God. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody is in the best feelings. Yeah, maybe you lied. Who knows? Listen, I don't know, but I remember this like if it was yesterday. That's crazy. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Anyway, now listen. But you remember the old neighborhood, right? At Waterloo. If there was you had to slide up. Tantina there had the house here, and we had a house with a garage and a garden in the back. How many rooms did we have? That was a smaller one before we had the huge one. Anyway, that was a great memory. Lord, what are we gonna do? I gotta ask my uncle if he remember that story. Maybe he does. All right, before we start, I want to congratulate my brother Fally Ipupa for an amazing show that he did in Paris at the Accor La Défense Arena. 40,000 people, sold out, making history as, listen, now he's becoming the Congolese legend. He's becoming the Congolese biggest artist out there. He's for Congo what Burna Boy might become if he continue on his run for the next 10, 15 years. He's like, now like he's far ahead of everybody. And he's just becoming a Congolese giant, an African giant. So yeah, listen, amazing. Congratulations. I already sent him a message telling him congrats. So he's probably, enjoying the high of such an amazing success. And it's amazing. It's funny. I saw a video of the people that call themselves les combattants. Who decided that they want to fight their political battle through the taking Congolese artists hostage. I believe they are responsible for Congolese music going from number 1 to number 3. Because of them, for 10 years there was no shows. So this gave space for Coupé Décalé and Nigerian music to just explode without having the Congolese people be there. And I mean, listen, you don't stay number 1 forever anyway. But they were there saying that they don't have nothing against Fally, but they are fighting Macron and whatever happens in Congo by preventing people to enjoy a concert. So this is their logic. And listen, I never agreed with that, because if you want to fight something that you disagree with politically, I believe that you should go into politics. That's as simple as that. Go into politics and do what you have to do. I don't see why you need to preventing people from having show for 2 hours at a concert is going to prevent them from having a consciousness about what happens in Congo, and especially if you do all this from Europe. If you really want to do something for your country, give away your French nationality, Belgium nationality, UK nationality, wherever you believe, wherever you are, and take back a Congolese passport and go become a rebel, or become an opponent, or become a political force. And attacking artists is weak to me personally. Maybe because I'm an artist, but I mean, listen, I never had any problem with them, because they attack more rumba artists. And every time I met some of them in Congo, they always told me, don't worry, you're fine. We will not prevent you. And I always told them, well, listen, if I were you, I would not try to prevent me, because, listen, I'll bring people to fuck you up. But listen, listen, congratulations to Fally for representing, and for, listen, it's not everybody that can put 40,000 people in in a French venue. So this is something to keep for the history books. It's not something that they don't do. So okay, I'm gonna also bring something in addition to that. Us African artists, we have put peoples in stadiums with more than that in Africa. And in the same time where I'm like, congrats for doing it in France, I'm like, why do you believe that it is an amazing achievement in France when Fally did this 100 times in Africa already? I did this in Africa 10, 20, 30 times. In every French speaking, English speaking, Portuguese speaking countries in Africa, I have filled stadiums. And it's interesting how we don't see it as an achievement. Like, I already had 100,000 people come see me perform, 10,000 people, 40,000 people, 20,000 people, like all types of huge crowds, right? And interestingly, people always tell me, yeah, you have to do a Zenith or you have to do a Coliseo here in Lisbon. It takes like, I think it's 5,000 people or 6,000 people. Or you have to do a Mel Arena, Altice Arena, that's like 12,000 people. And me, I'm like, why? No, because then, for your status, that like to show people that you are the legend. I'm like, what about all the stadiums I did in Africa? What about all the huge venues I did? We did Stade des Martyrs, we did this, we in our countries, in our continent, we did that. Why doesn't it matter as much as what we did when it happens in Europe? It's great to be able to say that you conquered other territories. Don't get me wrong, but I mean that I just don't like the fact that it has more. It feels more important for our people than what we do at home. But I mean, it's just something that has nothing to do with what Fally did. It's just that usually people always tell me, yo, you have to do one big concert to show once and for all who you are. I'm like, done that. Yeah, but you didn't do it at l'Olympia. I'm like, l'Olympia is like 3,000 people. What are you talking about? I did 30,000 people here, 20,000 here, 100,000 here. Why are you talking to me about l'Olympia? Is this thing where sometimes I'm just like, it's the same as like, yeah, I mean, like for everybody, winning a Grammy is so important. Listen, to me personally, winning multiple Cora awards are more important for me because this is a prize from the African continent. It's just that it doesn't hold the same value in the eyes of the people, and it's more about the people. It's not about the value for you as an artist. It really depends. Like, I know some artists that they did 10,000 people in 20 different countries inside of Africa, and they are not famous at all outside. I know people, they had like 30, 40, 50,000 people in Angola, like Ciquat Pedro, like Big Nello, like a lot of these artists. And people, interestingly, it's only when they feel a big place here with 6,000 people that they say, yeah, legend. I'm like, what about what we do at home? And that's, listen, I have a pushback because every time I'm invited to a show, people yell so much. Then people tell me, yeah, you have to come and do one in France, one in the US, and or you have to have one hit in France for your career to be. I'm like, what are you talking about? I did places that are way bigger than those places in in many cities in Congo, plus Gabon, Cameroon, Angola, Mozambique. Like, doesn't count? Like, why? Like, these people, they like, it's not the same numbers. Like, what happens? And so that's why, me personally, I mean, I'm not saying I'll never do it, but people have been telling me, you need to do a big arena in Lisbon or Paris to solidify like the legend. And I'm like, guys, the legend is already solidified. I don't need that. And if I do it, I'll do it in a way where nobody's ready. But listen, it is what it is. Where were we? Joel Amen doesn't remember what he told me when we were kids. It's okay. Listen, I have a great memory. I remember things from 40 years ago. And yeah, this story just came back to me. Like, Dalia, I hope you were there to listen to that one. Hey. Mama Dalia, what up? How you doing? Where's Nasty? What up? Yeah, he's very good. He's very good. Ezekiel, what up? No, you're not late. You're just on time. Where's Nasty's asking, what do you think can change that? The mentality? Now, that's a good question. I believe that you gain the respect. I mean, I understand why I see it this way. It's because I just, to me, 10,000 people is 10,000 people, wherever they come from. But then you have some people that will respect more an industry when, for example, if you are huge in Nigeria, you can live better than an American artist. If you are huge in Dubai, you can live better in Dubai than an American artist. Same thing in Nigeria, same thing in South Africa. If you are huge in Congo, I mean, you can live good and you can even live great, but it's missing a lot of things as a country in terms of infrastructure for artists, so that you can really make the most money from being there. So to give you an example of all the ways I make money in Europe, I make money from streams, I make money from YouTube views, I make money from sales, I make money from copyrights, I make money from intellectual rights. So if you write a song or if you compose a song, I make money from performance right. Means if somebody sings any song I did, or a song where I played an instrument in anywhere, or if it plays in the radio, somebody does a show, I make money from that. You make money from selling beats, you make money from selling songs, you make money from giving advice to people, you make money like this. So many ways that you can make money from music. Your music plays on an ad, I make money from that. Your music is in a movie, you make money from that. And because of that, to make money from all these things, you have to be part of all these different organisms. Listen, these collecting societies that really take care of getting that money from you. For example, if you're part of a sound exchange, you make money from being the owner of a copyright of a song. So it's like intellectual rights before master owners. If you write a song, you have SPA here in Portugal, SACEM in France, or ASCAP in the US. You can make money from that. If you are if you just play the piano or the guitar or the congas on a song. You can be part of Sound Exchange, or you can be part of GDA here in Portugal, La Maison des Artistes in France, Adami, or other, depending on the country where you live, that will get, a little bit of every song where you play the conga. As a conga player, there's a part for you. People don't know that. And you don't even need to sign something when you do the song. You just need to come and for example, you bring the CD cover and says, you see, it's written here in the credit that I play the congas, and you get money from that. You can make money from your song playing in a hotel. You can make money from streams here. You like all these things, all these collecting societies exist that make it, as a creator, that you don't need to dream of living in another country to make money. And I believe that this exists in South Africa. This exists probably in Nigeria. There's infrastructure, but for example in Congo, all this doesn't work. In Congo, you don't make money from your streams unless they are outside of Congo. You don't make money from the YouTube views because there's no ads in the YouTube videos. You don't make money from the copyrights. Listen, I have a track that is an ad that has been, it was supposed to play for a month. They played for 2 years. I never got $1 from that because the things are not working. So the only way to make money is doing shows. So most artists, they will believe that it's better to go in Europe or in the US so that they can have a career. And so maybe the fact that we don't have like the infrastructure in place so that an artist can live from his work, his craft inside the country, make it that people don't really respect like your achievement at home the same way they respect as if you do an O2 Arena in the UK. But listen, and there's no like, we have a stadium, but there's no arena as well. Like nobody built all this, like the private sector and the public sector and the government, they don't really think of culture as a weapon, the way the Americans are using this as soft power, or the Koreans. Everybody loved South Korea because of K-pop and Korean dramas. So this is soft power, where you watch so much of something that all of a sudden, you want to go see the K-pop biggest band. You want to see them in Seoul. That's like the mecca of K-pop. And in Congo, for example, we have some of the biggest African artists, but no infrastructure for them to be multimillionaires. Where if you are of a stature of a Fally Ipupa or a Kofi Olomide or Papa Wemba, rest in peace, or a Kassav in France or in the US, you are normally a multimillionaire. In our countries, some of them, like in South Africa, some of them they're good, in Angola as well. But in most of our countries, you can be huge as an artist and still be poor, because your only avenue for making music and making money from your music is the shows. And this is why a lot of these record companies like Universal, Sony, that implanted themselves in the French-speaking Africa, they only make money from selling the shows of their artists. The artists that are there, they don't really generate publishing revenue, intellectual right revenues, etc., because the system is not in place. Where as soon as all these systems are in place, as an artist, you can live. Listen, it's gonna be December soon. I'm gonna receive probably, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10,000 euros just from all the artists that are not only my songs, but all the songs that are made from other artists that performed tracks that I wrote or I composed. So Portuguese artists like Blaya, like Rita Guerra, like Siquat Pedro Angola artists, or artists that are in Belgium, or television shows where I did the music I did for Trace TV, music I did for me, Le DS, Sumia, Elisio, Abige, all these tracks that I did all these years. If something played in the radio, if something played or somebody did a show somewhere and they declare the songs, every part of money that I have to make from all these songs, 10 euros here, 70 euros there, 100 here, 500 from this, this novella that I have, like a Portuguese novella where I have a song that I did for Anselmo Ralph, where I wrote a part of the song. So I have 30% of that song. It plays in 20 episodes of a novella in Portugal that played. So every episode is generating a little bit of money. All this because I live here and I'm registered to all these companies and all my songs are registered. Yeah, by December, I'll just receive a wire transfer. And this changes everything because there goes my rent. You see, and then there's no stress. Or there goes the gift for the kids for Christmas. Or there goes, my wife is going to celebrate her birthday. So there goes X. So I'm going to be celebrating my 50 in January. So there goes my party, whatever. And every 3 months you receive these quarterly revenues. But if you are an artist in some part of Africa, if you are an artist in Madagascar, you don't have none of that shit. So you can be huge in your country, and if you don't do, let's say you break your leg, you cannot do shows for 6 months, you poor, and that's a problem. So maybe that's something. We're gonna explore a little bit more of this in the rest of the Listen, I've been talking by myself, me and my long answers. Let me see. MJ Wemoto, what up? How you doing? I hope you're doing good. MJ saying, I heard Portugal ran on renewable energy for 6 days straight. I didn't hear about that, but yeah, send me the article. It's possible. Listen, there's a lot of things that I found here where I was like, yo, these people are in advance. Listen, simple things like, I wanted to buy a plane ticket 10 years ago for a show that I was doing, and the promoter was asking me, yo, so what time you want to go? I was like, and he's like, okay, find the ticket and just go and put it as the payment. You put multibanco as a form of payment. Me, I was like, you supposed to pay for the ticket, not me. He's like, don't worry, go until the payment part and put multibanco. So I'm like, okay. So I got your text. So I put multibanco. He tells me, okay, 300 and something for the ticket. So he's like, okay, just give me the reference number and the code. And I was like, okay. So I give him that. He said, okay, I'm going downstairs. And he just went to any distributor. He paid for that using his cash in the distributor, and I received an email like a second after telling me the thing was done. And now you can even do it from your phone. Like all these things, there's a lot of, maybe because it's a smaller country, but there's a lot of, in the banking system, Portugal is way ahead of France, for example, where if you have a credit card from one bank, there's a lot of things that you cannot do in another bank. Here, if you have a credit card, you're part of multibanco, and every multibanco from any bank, you can do everything that you can do in the other banks. Like there's a lot of things, like small things where I'm like, yo, these guys are far. Let me read your article. Portugal just ran on renewable for 6 days in a row. For nearly a week, the country of 10 million met customers need with wind, hydro, and solar. A test run for operating the grid without fossil fuels. Wow. Nice. Interesting. I'm going to read that. But yeah, that's very interesting. Thanks for the link. Where were we? That's true. Don't forget to like the live. What he's saying is true. Wow. Listen, it's so interesting from a live to another because listen, people have lives, but sometimes you are live and the chat is dead, and you just have to put yourself in your head in like, listen, I'm just recording something live and people will watch it, because usually when there's nobody during the live, usually the next day I see hundreds of people watching the replay. But then you have days like this where everybody's here and the live is really like alive. So that's cool. Let me see. Thank you, Ezekiel. You guys are talking to each other. Black Freethinker is saying 100K people out to be 100K people no matter where they assemble for music or sport. Exactly. I completely do agree. But for some reason, even us, we feel like being done in, sometimes you have 100K at home and people are not going to make it as important as 10,000 people abroad in France or in the US. Like, I understand that it's amazing that as in terms of penetrating another market, I understand how amazing it is that Burna Boy sells out Madison Square Garden. But I'm sure it does the same thing at home. So, and probably it may be more. And this is not like the news the way it would be. Why? Because our market in terms of music are not seen as professional. They're not seen as important as, yeah, listen, I'm gonna do a track. And look at all these Nigerian artists, for example. Now that they are Afrobeats at a certain level, for them, what they want to do is do tracks with American artists. They don't want to do tracks with French artists or Congolese artists or whatever. They grew up on our music, but still, they want to do a track with Chris Brown, with XYZ. That's where, to me, I'm like, there's something about the soft power of America, where you believe that you have French music, you have American music, R&B, hip hop, etc. And when we talk about African music, Asian music, Persian music, it's in world music, like it's the others. So all this has been creating something in the head of everybody where they feel like, yeah, listen, because listen, when my album came out, I remember I went to the Virgin Mega Store and I was like, why is my album in world? Yeah, because you do world music. I said, no, I do rap, R&B, and Zouk mixed together. I want to be in the R&B section. No, you are in islands. And I was like, wow. But that's not where I buy my music. But people want to categorize you as others. Why? Because the people who make the categories for a long time were these guys. And that's why I love streaming. I love what's going on with the internet, where you have genres like Amapiano that are taking over the world. And everybody's doing it, and people, they generate thousands of millions of streams because there's not a store that will put your music in the corner, right? I remember I was going to the FNAC. I would take my CD, take it out of the Zouk. I would take 2-3 CDs, bring them in the hip hop, put some in the hip hop, put some in the R&B, because I was like, hey, why are you putting me out there? And then listen, I gotta say that I was proud that one day I went to the FNAC and there was a Kaysha. Like I was under Kaysha with all my stuff. I was like, yeah. But yeah, the way we think is actually not the reality of the way a lot of people present the things in the world. Inanna is saying the entertainment world is making people think that. Exactly. I do agree 1000% with that. Thank you. Inanna is saying, I'm from the Netherlands. Dutch musicians, singers, etc. also don't get rich. And listen, Dutch musicians, like, it's the whole world. Like, maybe because of the language, people don't, but once you go on Spotify, you start looking for those artists, you're like, wow, like there's a ton of amazing music. But then because of the size of the country, sometime, yeah, it's like France, it's 60 million people. It's enough to make a good living, but it's not the same as a 400 million people, huge market, etc., etc. So, but I like the fact that the internet is kind of changing that a little bit. So where's Nasty saying, I think Kendrick Lamar plus PG Lang are doing to set up touring infrastructure in Africa and can change in a good direction. Interesting. Yeah, who knows? Getting rich from music is a thing of the past. I disagree. I am proof that it's not a thing of the past. And actually, that's what I'm going to talk to you about once I'm done reading all of your artists in the US hire model cars and the money they show isn't real. That is true as well. Yeah. A Dutch rapper will take out his money and his friends. They film showing off cash, but in reality they are not rich. Listen, fake it till you make it has always been a thing. Black Free is saying, I see that you are talking about revenue, not status, so it makes sense. Indeed. But there's something about the status as well, where playing in a certain place will bring you a status, and playing with the same amount of people in another place will bring you nothing. Like, listen, people have been telling me, you have to do l'Olympia in France. This is like a mythic place. And me, I'm always like, I played in venues 10 times bigger than that. And I was paid the same, probably twice what I would be paid to play there. Why do you believe that it is important for me? Because it's slow. And me, I'm always like, listen, go on my YouTube channel. The shows are there. The multitude of people are there. Why? And yeah, listen, it's a question of perception. Thank you. And then I'm saying, if you really want to get rich, invent a new YouTube or Google or social media app that does what nobody does. The thing is having the idea, the dream, the idea, then the execution. That is what is the most important. Master Electronic, what up? How you doing? This is the profile picture of somebody who's tired, who had way way too much sex in Congo. The problem of the platforms of today is that some platforms, they really have a monopoly, and it's going to take a lot of time and the will of the people to go to a new platform. And most of the time, people will go to the other platforms. Listen, I'm on Rumble, I'm on Odyssey, but in the end, we come back to Google, Twitch, and same thing for social media. Like most people, they will stay where they already have their habits, and unless you provide them something that really, where not only they love to go, but also where everybody else is. To give you an example, there's a great social media called what's the name of it? It's called Vero. So it's amazing. And when everybody was tired of Instagram, we start going there. But then everybody came back to Instagram. And at a point, you just stop posting on both and you go back to, I have to go to Vero again. It's been a long time. I think in this new phone, I'm not even logged in. Yeah, I have to log in. You see, when you say nobody like ads, the problem is most people, they say they're fans, but they don't want to see the ads. So they want artists to be paid, but then they don't want to look at the ads. So you don't want the artists to be paid. Simple as that. Nah, it's not the same thing. It is the same thing. I'm great. How are you, Master Electronic? If you made an app like YouTube without ads, how would you make money as the creator of the app? That's the question. There's two ways to monetize. Either you make, because listen, Instagram, the reason why they sold to Facebook was that there were so many people on Instagram that they didn't have enough money to pay the servers. Because people on the internet, they believe that the internet is free. No, when you have an app and you are using the internet, you have to pay for all the data that is going in and out. So if you have 10 people that are using your app, maybe it's going to cost you $10 a month to pay Amazon and whoever that is hosting your data. And then you need to buy servers to host. So let's say you have an app like YouTube, and in your app people can upload videos. So what is the size of one episode of Club Shada? I'm going to tell you. One episode of Club Shada that you are watching, for example, one episode is, for example, last episode was an episode is 2.37 gigabytes, right? So you have to store it somewhere. So you have to store it on servers. So let's say you have 10 guys like me who are doing an episode like this every week. That's 20 gigabytes that are uploaded on the servers, that you have to create versions. Machines have to create versions that are being able to be streamed. And now let's say you have 100 people that are watching every show. So that's 200 gigabytes that are transmitted by every person. And all this, you have to pay for it. So if you have 100 people watching, maybe it's going to cost you 50, 100 per day, right? Now, if you have 1 million users that are uploading videos, now you need terabytes. So you have to pay for the terabytes to store all the videos, and then you have to pay for all the bandwidth of all the data that is coming up and down. So, this video, there's 1 million people watching this video from that person. Now you have to pay for the 1 million terabytes that are just passing from this place to that computer. And if you don't pay, the service is slow. All of a sudden, every user is yelling to you, it doesn't work. And then they go back to YouTube. So it's going to cost you so much money. At a point, your investors are going to tell you, hey, listen, we gave you 50 million to create your app, and you've been burning 1 million every month. We would love to know how you're gonna make money. There's only two ways to make money: ads that people hate, or subscription. People have to pay to be part of the app. Listen, I pay for YouTube. I pay 12 euros every month so that my whole family have no ads on their YouTube channel. You know what's cool? I never see ads on YouTube, but I pay for that. So if I watch your video, because I'm a premium subscriber, you get money every time I watch your video. Any video that I watch, you get money. Even if I don't see an ad, my views are more, they bring more money, my views, than the people who are watching ads. And because if you watch the ad till the end, if the people watch the ad till the end, you get money. If they only watch half of the ad, you get a little less. If they pass the ad, you might not make money. And then you have the ads on the side, like etc., etc. So the problem is always the same. People don't like the ads, but people don't want to pay. We had the same thing when it comes to making music. My first album, we sold 100,000 copies. My second album, we sold 10,000. And you know what was the difference between the two? Because one was in 98, the other one was in 99. A big difference between the two, other than the fact that I might have not done the right music. One big difference is that Philips introduced in 99 the CD burner, where you could take a real CD, put a blank CD, and you put play record, and in 1x it will bring out a copy. And all of a sudden, a lot of people in the street were selling copies of my album. A few years later, you had 16x, one album of 1 hour. In 1 hour divided by 60, you could have a copy. Then you had the 60x, where in 1 minute you could do a copy of an album. Then you had towers, when you put one album, the master, the real copy, and you could do 25 copies in 1 minute. And then the CDs died, and then the internet arrived, and then Napster, and people were like, oh, why would I buy something that I can get for free? The problem is, if you do the app, how do you make money? If you create the content, how do you make money? If people don't want to see ads, or they don't want to pay, how are you supposed to make money? That is always the same problem. Guys, I have to talk about my subject of the day. If you were starting your music career from scratch, in 2024, what would you do to start earning money from your music? If I was starting from scratch, I would work on my brand to have listeners. This is a strategy I would do if I would start from scratch. I would open a TikTok account, and for every song I would do, every week or every 2 weeks, I would do funny 60 seconds video with my songs. Me making the beats, like in 30 seconds, I would do a cut of me like making the drums, adding the piano, adding this, and then singing. And then I would put them on TikTok, one after the other. Hopefully amass followers from that, and then funnel all these people to Spotify, where I would make money from the people who want to hear the long version of the song. They would go stream it on Spotify and YouTube. And that's what I would do. And that would be my strategy for the first 5 years. I would do this. I would do like songs every week. I would do a song with a video on TikTok, something funny, and then hopefully a few of them would trend, and because they would trend, people would do dance videos on them or whatever, and then from there I would start maybe collaboration with other people. And same thing, I would do a video where I would ask the people as they're recording to film themselves, and then I would create some edits where I'm like, oh, listen, I would start the video with like, yo, I wanted to do a track from a guy from Japan. So I was like, I went on Instagram, I looked for a guy on Instagram, I would like, 10 seconds, you say, I look on Instagram, I found this guy called I will put their profile, and then I send them a message, and they say, yeah, I would love to do a track. I would put a video, a screenshot of the conversation on TikTok or on Instagram of us talking, and I was like, oh, let's do it. So then after that, I would be like, so I made a beat, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, me making the beat, and then I would like him singing, them singing a little bit of the song, and I would do that, and then it would create this feeling for everybody, like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then after that, they want to hear the real song, they would go to Spotify, and I would make money. That's what I would do. Where's Nasty saying, we've been conditioned. For example, I throw a festival in my hometown, 4K people, and people always ask me why we don't go to NYC, etc. Yeah, because they say people don't appreciate it, which I don't think is true. Yeah, listen, the thing is this to me. If your 4,000 people can make it not only something that is fulfilling personally, and you make money, who needs to go outside? I tell people all the time, and I tell artists all the time, let me turn on the AC. You need 1,000 fans, loyal. If you have 1,000 loyal fans that are willing to spend $10 on you every month, that's all you need. You set up a Patreon and you tell your loyal fans, hey, listen, you get access to my music for free download. All you have to do is be part of X, my Patreon, or on my YouTube channel, whatever. You have an access. If you are a member and you pay, every new song that I do, you have access as paying post. And if you have 1,000 people like this, you make 10K a month. That's it. You're done. You're set. In 10 years, you have $1 million. It's just that the people, they just want to see millions of people to believe that you are successful. Listen, look at me. I have artists that are saying, oh, poor Kaysha, he doesn't do that much shows. He used to do a lot of shows. He doesn't do show anymore. Where all his other friends who are the same age, they do a lot of shows. I'm like, well, my colleagues, a lot of them do shows for cheaper because they don't have the choice. And I make today the same amount of every month as if I did 20 shows, because I knew when to invest in other things. And so in reality, if I do a show tomorrow, or if I don't do a show for a whole year, it doesn't change nothing in my life. And in terms of revenue, I love doing shows, it's fun, but I don't need to do them. And that's the beauty of it. When you don't need to do something, when people call you, you can say, this is the price. And if they start, yeah, but it's like, all right, bye. That's a beautiful thing to be there. So it's all a question of perception. You're trying to do something with an AI, so I don't need to work longer. Ooh, I like this. Listen, a lot of American labels too. You're stupid. What electronic? You are stupid. Inara is saying also the music market is over flooded with many people wanting to be a musician. That is very true. Same thing for YouTube. Listen, it's just the internet in general. It's over flooded with too much information. So nothing is sacred anymore. There's also a thing where when I released my first album, there was not a lot of people like me. So when I came, it was just a revolution. I sold 100,000 CDs. So that's $1 million for Sony. Now, today there's 120,000 new songs every day. That's a nightmare. As a musician, the only way to exist is to create a brand. How it's been 1 hour? I didn't even start my subject. The chat is lit today, so hey, it is what it is. Then again, Afrobeat has a lot of American influence, so I can understand their point of view. Yes, of course. And it comes back to what I was saying about soft power. Soft power makes it that because of the soft power, everybody wants to be. Listen. Superhero movies. Have you ever thought that all your superheroes? Wait. There's something that I knew I wanted to do because it's making me crazy to see. You see, this light here, this yellow doesn't go with the blue and the red and the orange here. This is not the right color I should have put. So this is pissing me off. Wait, let me see. Where am I? What? Oh, I don't even know which one is. Wait, is it this one? Is it this one? Yes, okay. I need to change just this color because it's pissing me off. Wait. I'm gonna choose something that goes well with these two. Would be maybe something that blue maybe. Sorry. Now I'm using this blue too much. Let me see. Maybe like this. No. Something maybe more reddish then. Apply. Yes, I like this. Save. Sorry, I was saying. As I was saying. No, I don't like this color. Don't mind me. You know I am. You know how I do. Simba. That's the name of this one. No. I'm gonna take some orange. Huh? Orange. Apply. Much better. Maybe a little more yellowish. Just a little more, not too much. Apply. Yes. Now it's working. Now I like it. I was saying, sorry for that. Was it this I was talking about? It's what I was saying about soft power, superheroes. Did you ever think, just wait a minute and be like, yo, all the superheroes are white and Americans. White American males. Superman, Batman. All these guys are Americans. So us growing up as kids, we all thought, I want to be called Jack and be like Steve Osteen, the $1 million man. This is soft power. And nowadays with a culture that is more inclusive, etc. Now you have heroes like Black Panther. Now you have me. I grew up in Africa, so I had access to Bruce Lee very early. So my hero was Chinese. My heroes were all Chinese movie people, Wu-Tang, etc. I've always been into that. But for a lot of a lot of people around the world, yeah, they're like, yeah, superheroes are Americans. Like, the whole world is being attacked by aliens. It's the end of the world. And Will Smith goes to Area 51 and the Americans save the day. They are never Russians, or they are never Palestinians. Economy. Masters and K, don't stress yourself. Musicians of today are slave of stream bots. Listen, I don't stress myself. I'm in a great place, so I don't really have reasons to stress. All right, listen. All right, you guys are, listen, it's great. The conversation is great. So Free saying, I'm glad hip hop rap has reached its end of life cycle, spinning itself off into different subgenres, just like metals in the OOs. Promote your music to countries who never heard of it. Oh, that's what I do all the time. That's how I got where I am. I wish YouTube would allow us to message in the live chat. What do you mean? Privately message other people? Because you can add people, but yeah. YouTube channels used to have a private chat, DMs, but then they remove it. You're really kind of person with positive energy. Yes, it's important. It is very important. Is the whole how do you get to the Carnegie Hall thing? Ryan Leslie has some great conversation online about this stuff too. Yes, I saw one of them. We met. When we met, it was like, hey, you think like me? I was like, yep. Sorry, I didn't know about ads and downloading. Thanks for explaining. No problem. My pleasure. It's always important to see both sides, but those things cost money. So that's, at a point, somebody has to pay. So if it's free, ads. Or if it's free and there's no ads, then they use your data, whatever you do, and they sell it, which is worse. No privacy. That's a great advice about starting on TikTok and funneling them to Spotify. Listen, there's a guy who does this type of strategy, and in 4 years he's making $70,000 per month from streams, just by doing nice videos of him performing. And listen, it's something that I'm going to implement this strategy for a lot of my new and old songs. I'm just gonna, listen, just imagine you see my camera, instead of being vertical, imagine that I cut here, right? And I take my microphone, and every time I put the microphone like this, and every time I have a new song, the day of release, I take 1 minute of the video and I sing Nalinga Kayo with the beats of my heart. Blah, 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 blah. I put a video like this every time I have a new single. Instead of just putting the cover and whatever, I do a video like this. I put it on Instagram. I put it on YouTube. This is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to do a bunch of them every time I have a new song. I'm going to do that. I'm going to also do it for the old songs. And I'm going to put them on TikTok, Instagram, Reels, etc. And that's it. And then just let the algorithms do their job. I see that quite often from Guyot artists. Yep, see. in analyzing, can I manipulate ads so I can help certain artists, as example, letting ads keep running on artist video? Maybe you can ask for ads only on a channel, but I'm not sure. I believe that usually you can put ads on a certain type of a certain keywords, but I'm not sure if you can do just for one artist. If you really want to support an artist, the best way to do is to come here on the chat and do a super chat or subscribe to whatever they have. I have a Patreon, actually. I never talk about it, but I do have. My English sentences, sorry, I hope my sentences are not. Don't worry, nobody speaks English here in reality. We all come from other countries, so don't worry, it's all good. Right. Urban Sweet Spot, what up? How you doing? Oh, Mountain of Inspiration. Listen, Mountain of Inspiration, you missed. I was telling a story about Joel, and he's pretending it didn't happen. So when you watch the replay, see if you remember that story. Lord. All right, listen, let me tell you about something that I find interesting, right? Before I go, but it was a great conversation, and we are having next week our November Q&A, because it's the end of the month already. Actually, it's going to be December, but we will do the November Q&A. Listen to this. I was thinking of something, because I gave some advice to, and I'm going to start to have people pay for my advice because they're making money. I give advice to somebody, right, who is in the music industry, but is not an artist, and he's just a friend of mine, and he doesn't sing, he doesn't make beats, none of that. And I told him, listen, so it was after the COVID, we were having conversation, he was telling me that, yo, I'm not making money, etc., etc. And from my advices, he went from not making money to making 3,000 euros every month, just by implementing some advice that I gave him. And what was the advice that I gave him? I told him, listen, instead of complaining about the things you are complaining to me about, I'm going to give you an idea of something you could do to generate money. Go find local artists from Africa that don't have their music online. Labels, artists, people who don't sing anymore and don't even care. People who moved on from music, etc., but they had like an album that came out 30 years ago, 20 years ago, etc., etc. And I was like, you tell these people, I'm going to take care of putting your music and putting it online through CD Baby, DistroKid, whatever. And I will only ask you 30% of the money you make. But I'll take care of everything. In exchange, I'll take 30%. So I'll become your distributor online. So, sorry. He was like, yeah, but everything is already online. I was like, no, not everything is online. That's what you think. But if you think about it, if you start asking yourself, hey, what about this song, or what about this group from back in the days? Maybe there's a lot of music that you are looking for, or that you can think about, that maybe I don't know about, that is not online. And if you put it online, maybe people will stream it. So 3 years ago, he started listening to me. After 1 year of me telling him, do this, he started doing it. I was like, listen, I would do it, but I'm too busy. You should do it. So at a point, he had this conversation with an artist from Cape Verde. And the guy was like, yeah, I don't understand nothing of this internet. The internet, when you put your money on the internet, you don't make money because people are downloading your music for free, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, no. Listen, how many albums did you do? I got 5 albums. Are they online? The guy was like, I don't know. So he went, look for the album. They're not on Spotify. He's like, oh my God. So he put the name of the artist. The only 2 free songs that come out are songs that are in compilations. So he's like, yo, you only have 3 of your songs online? You who had such a big career 30 years ago. That's crazy. So he calls me and he tells me, hey, how can I do? Because they don't have the original CD covers. So I told him, scan them. Do you have the original CDs? And he's like, some of them. I said, okay, scan them. So he scanned 2 of them. And the third one, there was a problem with the CD because it was the CD was dirty, etc. So there's nothing you could do with it. So I told him, do you have a photo of the artist, or maybe an old photo of something or something? And he was like, yeah, I have this photo of him or old photo session. I said, okay, scan one. So he sent me one photo. I cut it, put it on Photoshop, put a new title of did a new cover, and sent him the cover back. And he's like, yeah, but it's not the same cover. And I was like, who cares? He's like, that's true. So yeah, it's the internet version. The most important is the content. So after a point, he put all the content in there, and the guy was not even on Instagram. So he goes on his Instagram. He said, oh yeah, all the music from such and such are now on Spotify. Bam, 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 bam. Fans are like, oh my God, good old times, da, da, da. People start streaming. Some playlists, Cape Verdean playlists, are starting to say, yeah, do you remember this artist? Da, 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 da. Remember to see, these are in our Remember the Time playlist. Boom. Start streaming. Not a lot. Like, I don't know, 10,000 stream every month. So that's 30 euros. Nothing special. All right. So he starts sending me a bunch of covers. When they are too difficult covers, I put them in AI just to clean them up because I'm good on Photoshop. So I help him. We do covers, we do singles, we do albums. He start putting a lot of content from, and I'm like, wait a minute, all these artists, they were not online? He's like, yeah. I was like, see? So at a point he had like, I think he put like maybe 100 albums from a lot of old artists. And I told him, but where are all these people coming from? He said, no, listen, this one is from Cape Verde, this one is from Senegal, this one is from Ghana. It's just people that I know, people that I hired to do shows one day, years ago. And yeah, now everybody, they, because every time I make like 100 euros, I send them like 70 euros. And for them, it's like, wow, 70 euros like every month. Yeah, listen, you think you're streaming. And so then more people come and then they have like these old obscure remixes and et cetera, et cetera. And he was like, so he called me 2 weeks ago and he's like, listen, where are you? I'm like, I'm at home. It's like, I have to invite you to dinner. I'm like, what's going on? It's like, no, listen, I just want to invite you to dinner and it's on me because you saved my life again. I'm like, so we go to dinner and he shows me. I'm like, yo, listen, this quarter, I made 10K. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. He's like, yeah, listen, I don't need to sell shows from artists anymore. I'm like starting thinking of ways to expand this, because there's so many artists out there that don't even realize that they can make money from their back catalog. So my friend is happy. I was like, listen, I'm so happy for you. That's great. You're making money. That's amazing. But this gave me an idea. So you have to understand, why does all of a sudden my friend, why is he making money from old songs that you would believe nobody cares about, right? Let me explain to you. This is, for example, all right. This is my top 200, right? Of my songs that are making the most in terms of streams, right? And if you look at it, let me put this bigger. Okay. If you look at it, of course, something going on is the banger. But if you go down to my top 200, look at, for example, let me find something that is old. So let me take, for example, this track called, I'm looking for an old song. Damn it, I have so many songs. Let me find something that is old. Damn, there's no old songs in there. Another Galaxy, is this old? Not old enough. Let me go a little bit more up. I'm looking for something that came out maybe something like 20 years ago. For example, all right, let's take this track called Musicarian, for example. So this came out in 2003 in my third album, right? So Musicarian is generating 1,000 streams every month. It's a very old song, but still every day there's like 50 people, 64 people, 66 people every month, right? And it plays, a lot of plays come from 300 playlists. Kizomba of the 2000, old Kizombas, moody songs, Claudia, old Tarashinhas, Tarasho para Dias de Noventas, etc., etc. There's a lot of playlists that are, it's not playlists, it's personal playlists, but you saw 50 song here, 38 song here, etc. Okay, so it means that this song is generating, so every month 12,000 streams, so 10,000, so let's say 1,296 multiplied by 12 months, though that's 15,000 stream in a year, so around 45 euros. Okay, that's 45 euros that are generated from this song. Right now, imagine that this is in my top 90 something, right? Now imagine if you see, if you take my top, if you go down to my top 200 songs, the last one is making 300 stream a month. So if you add, you go up to 100, this one is making 800 stream a month. So from 300 to 100, let's say a median of 500 stream, right, per month. If you take from 100, so let's say to simplify, that I have 500 stream a month multiplied by 100 songs, right? Now I have 50,000 stream a month, all right? If I take 50,000 stream a month, multiply by 1 year, which is 12 months, I have 600,000 stream. 600,000 stream, this is if 1 million is 3,000 euros, so it's around, I would say, 1,600 euros every year. So meaning that 1,600 euros divided by 12, that's 100 euros every month from these 100 songs. Now, if we add a bunch of my other songs that I have 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 3,000, 30,000, 50,000, and then the big ones here, that is 1,006,300, you arrive to an audience of 870,000 people that are making 300,000, 3.3 million streams. So that's a monthly of 3.3 multiplied by 3,000. That's around, 3.3. That's around 10,000 euros a month from 200 songs, right? And that's just Spotify. If you add the other platforms, maybe you arrive to, I don't know, 15,000 a month. If you add other platforms like YouTube and etc., maybe you arrive to 20,000 a month, okay? That's from my small catalog of, I don't know how many songs I have, but this is the top 200, and there's probably another, if you add all the remixes, all the things that I do, there's probably 1,000 songs in there, 1,000 masters, right? Now, here is what I start thinking. I was like, what if I had, okay, this is MJ Wemoto, right? MJ Wemoto, let's go to his Spotify. This is Club Shada Piano. If you want to listen to all the songs that are playing in the back, I'm going to put them in the chat. Now, this is MJ Wemoto, right? If I look at his Spotify, right? So MJ Wemoto. So he has 10,000 people listening a month, and most of his songs do probably, I don't know, 1,000 stream a month, 500 stream a month, right? He has a lot of instrumentals, lots of tracks, I'm a piano, and etc., right? Some remixes for Kaysha, blah, blah, blah. All right. So, if 1 million monthly listeners generate, 1 million listeners generate around 20,000 a month, I guess 10,000 probably generate 200 to 300 a month or 400 a month. So what if I go to MJ Wemoto and I tell him, hey, listen, I want to buy all your songs. Oh, what you mean? I want to own all your songs. Oh, Sushi One wants to buy all your songs. Listen, from my calculation, you make X per month. I'm giving you 5,000 for all your songs that are actual here. If I make 20K a month, right? For me, it's a small catalog. I can buy it between 3,000 to 5,000, right? And if you have an artist like MJ who's active, he's gonna say no. But if you have an artist that is not even interested in music anymore and has maybe some old songs like the ones my friend is distributing, this guy might say, how much? Well, listen, I'll give you 3,000 now for your catalog, your small catalog, 2 albums, 3 albums. I'll give you 5,000 now. And now I have 4 more albums. And now my work is to monetize them, right? So You're gonna say, yeah, but that's only let's say 500 per month more that you would get from that album. I said, okay, in 10 months, I'll make my 5,000 back. And now I'm making 20,000 plus 500, right? Let's say that every month I take 20 from the 20K I make per month. Let's say I take 5,000 and I start buying a lot of small catalogs. I find all the artists that are struggling, that don't believe in themselves or whatever, or people that don't care that much. And I give them 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, and I just buy catalogs, one after the other. Imagine if I can buy catalogs of 2 albums, 3 albums, 5 albums like this every month. Let's say I buy 2 every month. Let's say, so every month I buy from small artists that, I buy 10 albums. By the end of the year, I will have 120 albums. And by the end of 10 years, I will have 1,200 albums streaming. So if all the 1,200 albums just make, listen, let's say 10,000 stream in 1 year, I will generate 36,000 every year from all that. And then after that, my job will be to make them generate more. And then I was like, that's very interesting. Listen, if you take a bunch of artists that don't care or don't believe in anymore, or just labels who just like, and you buy the whole catalogs, you buy them like Chinese catalog, Nepalese music, Congolese music, music from here, you just buy catalogs. After a certain point, you make money not because of the music. You make money because of the amount of music. So yesterday, I'm talking to a friend of mine. We are building a fund for African countries and African companies. It's going to be called the African Fund, and we're going to have a fund that invests in African companies so that the music from Africa goes back to Africa. So we're still in the beginning of that. But I was explaining this strategy to him, and I was like, yo, listen, I'm thinking of starting to buy catalogs from artists, just one by one. And he was like, he started talking to me like a Wall Street guy. I was like, huh? What are you talking about? He's like, nah, listen. Why don't you evaluate the value of your catalog and you buy other catalog with the value of your catalog? I was like, you can do an IPO. I was like, yo. You are going too far for me. I don't understand nothing you're saying. He's like, okay, listen. Imagine you have the Kaysha catalog that is generating, let's say, 25,000 every month. So it means that you make 25,000 every month, meaning that every year you make around 300,000. With this 300,000, it means that every 20 year you can make 6 million. So now, if you can say how much it costs to you, how much it generate, and how much it will appreciate or depreciate with during the years, now you can have some people that are in Wall Street, that are like the Moody's, that are rating, that can, and then they will give a value to your catalog. Now, once it has a value, you can do a IPO where you generate 1 million shares or 1 million crypto tokens of your catalog. And once you generate all these 1 million shares, you take 80% of those shares and you keep them for yourself. So you still own them. Now, you sell 20% of that catalog that is worth 6 million. You sell 20% of those shares to your fans, your Club Shada listeners, all of these people as tokens. So let's say you have 1 million shares. So you have 6 million in valuation divided by 1 million. So every share costs, every share of Sushi Raw costs $6, right? Now, because you go to these valuation, the big banks like Morgan Stanley, etc., like all these banks, they will say, we are interested. Maybe they will buy 1% of the share, 10% of the share, 5% of the shares, right? So now they buy early, and because they buy the 20% from all these big banks, so that they can also put them when you go public. Maybe it will make your price go from 6 to 12 or from 6 to 30, for example. So all of a sudden, your company is not worth 6 million anymore. It's not worth, 50 million, because of the value people want to buy your thing. And you still own 80% of it. But the 20% that you sold, let's say, is worth now 100,000 because of the valuation of your company and the fact that people are interested in buying those 20%, because all the money you're going to do now, they know that 20% is going to be divided by your fans, your this, your that. With the 100,000 that you made from selling 20% of your company and then selling it back, those actions, to investors like you guys who want to make money, now you have 100,000K. Now what you can do is you can go see bigger artists or a bunch of small artists, and you can just tell all these artists, hey, I'm buying your catalog, I'm buying your catalog, I'm buying your catalog, I'm buying your catalog. And what you do is you can show the investors that because you are buying more and more and more catalog, you are actually gonna generate more money every month. Listen, if they see that last month you made 20K, but next month, because of all the catalog you bought, you make 21K, for them, it's percentage. Then the shareholders, you guys, are like, oh my God, we're making more money. So the shares cost more money. So maybe you holding your Sushi Roll shares for $20 now, but somebody's telling you, hey, I'm buying it for 25. You sell 100 of them. Now you have 2,500 when you spent 600 for 100 shares. You sold them for 2,005. So everything is going up. It means that my 80,000 shares, my 80% of shares are also becoming, instead of being worth 5 million, now it's worth 20 million. So I can still sell a little bit of it, or just go to the bank and say, listen, I want to collateralize my 20% of the shares that I have. I'm not selling them. I'm just putting them as a guarantee. And in exchange, you, the bank, you give me $5 million. Now that the bank give me $5 million, I take these $5 million, and instead of buying small catalogs like MJ's, now I can go and buy, maybe I can go to Nelson Freitas and say, bro, listen, Siquat Pedro and Selma Raf, and tell them, hey, bro, I'm buying your whole thing for 1 million. Hey, I can go to the whole Zouk industry, for example. I can go to Section Zouk and tell the guy, listen, I'm buying the whole catalog for 2 million. I know how much it generates, more or less. I have an idea. I'm buying everything for 2 million. I buy this one. I go see artists like Princess Lover, artists like bunch of artists, because I know more or less how much they generate because I produced a bunch of artists like these. So I know more or less how much I buy their catalogs. And now maybe you double the size of your catalog with these 5 million, you can multiply the size of this catalog by 10. And instead of making 20 per month, now you make 200K per month. Making the valuation of your thing go higher and the valuation of the 20% you sold go even higher. And maybe at a point, there's one big catalog that sees you and say, hey, listen, you make 200K per month from this big catalog that you've been creating, meaning that every year you generate 2.5 million. Okay, listen, we're buying the whole thing for 30 million. And you sell everything and you're like, check out. So that was my dinner yesterday. I was like, yo, I love this. That's crazy. But this explains to you why this guy Mercuriadis, I'm sorry if I'm misdoing his name, with his catalog, that's why they are buying the catalog of the 50s, the Dr. Dre's, the Justin Bieber's, the Justin Timberlake's, the Dreams, all this. That's why they're giving these people like 100 million, X 100, because they are building this super catalog that is generating millions and millions and millions per month for the hedge funds. And for them, they only see them as assets. They don't care about the artistic thing in there. I mean, they love music, but as a monetary point of view of the things, for them, it's an asset that generates money. Listen, if you have one song that generates 5 euros every day, you might say to yourself, that's nothing. But listen, some people get paid 5 euros an hour to work, but you have an asset that is generating 5 euros per day. And you don't have to do nothing, just create it. You have the possibility to create it, and you can make more of those. You can make 100 of those. All you have to do is take your mic and sing. If you have 100, now you can generate 500 a day. And most artists, that's not the way they think. They're gonna think about, the value of music, my art, my this, my that. Yeah, cool. But if you start speaking to the people I speak to, and they start putting in your mind how you can actually buy stuff without selling or without your own money, you start being like, wow. And yesterday I was like, very interesting. And this guy made millions, his fortune in telecoms. So he knows what he's talking about. And he told me that's how we evaluated our telecom companies. And that's how we sold it for hundreds of millions. And after that, now I can, give advice to the young guys like you. I was like, all right. I was like, thanks for my Club Shada tomorrow. It was like, oh yeah, cool. So listen, moral of the story is, when you think about your business, your career, your music, make sure you sit down with people that are smarter than you, richer than you, and who can mentor you into thinking further than your own ideas. Because listen, I thought my idea of just buying small catalogs for 2,000 or 1,000, or just finding people and telling them, just like my friend, hey, listen, let me distribute for you and we share the revenue or something. To me, that was already a good idea to make more money faster. But this guy took me out there. I was like, wait, I can treat my catalog like stock option? He was like, yeah, of course, it's an asset. you can really, I mean, that's what startups do. You sell the future value. And you have these people, that's their job, accountants, super accountant, Moody's and Standards and Poor's. That's what they do. They will say, okay, from what we see, from what he made the past 20 years, we believe that the value of this asset will be X in that point. So then the big banks are like, okay, in this case, to turn this value into X, we are willing to block this part of the asset without buying it, and we give you some money, and with that money you make it go higher. And I was like, yo, all right, as you can see, all is well with me. Lord. All right, if you say so. Ezekiel is saying, damn, that's a great advice. I'm here at home. I have a lot of African vinyls from the 70s, 80s, 90s that are not online. I will do this, that, sell some. And I'm young and I've got the time. Yeah, but what you have to do is get the authorization from the owners. But yeah, if you do, yeah, listen, that is actually a great business to do, because things will stream. All right, let me watch your comment before I go. I always say I want this show to be an hour, and then it's been 2 hours. MJ Weponto is saying, here's the funny thing about your story. I have a collection of some of the rarest Zimbabwean music ever that I collected between 97 and 2006, and most of it is not available online. Listen, you find the owners of these songs and you propose a revenue share, 70-30. You give them 70% of any money you will make, and you get paid by your distribution, and that's it. And whenever money comes in, you pay them. That's crazy. I had artists come to me and ask me to give them files of their own music because they lost copies, and I used to have the biggest Zim music podcast years ago. Wow, look at that. Listen, and imagine if you have their capellas and you can do what I do, which is remixes of everything you have. Because listen, me, I have enough songs to do remixes for the next 10 years. If every week we only did remixes, I have enough songs. That's crazy. MJ is saying, you raise a good point, K. An inactive artist also doesn't want the admin work that come with trying to figure out how to get songs online, etc. It's a headache to them. That's true. Now imagine if, listen, I have a guy in Congo. I do this for him. I do this for 20%. And every time he does, he makes money, I take 20%. And my distribution, believe, I have a system in there where that tells me exactly how much I have to give him every month. So every 3 months when I get paid, I send him a transfer. As soon as I get my money, boom, I send him his part. And I know I get a PDF with exactly how much his label has made, and I just do the distribution for him. And I take care of, putting things on YouTube, putting things on the platform. And it takes me 5 minutes to put a song online. So, Free saying, are you going to do a Zoop coin? Shada coin. Listen, if it's behind a real project, it makes sense. If not, hell no. Oh, Malcolm Beats, what up? How's Little Prince doing? Whereas Nasi saying, in theory, isn't this what a label does? Yes, that's exactly what they do. The difference is now we can be their competition. You know, a lot of these labels, they make money from the back catalog. The way I make money from my back catalog, they have a back catalog that is 10,000 times the size of mine. So they probably make 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 10 million every month just from the Beatles, Michael Jackson, Prince, etc., etc. Me, the difference is I'm just applying this strategy to myself. But yeah, that's why they buy catalogs. That's why they keep telling me they want to buy my catalog. And I keep telling them no. Because I understand the value of what I have, of what I've built the last 25 years. And a lot of artists, they don't even own the catalog. They don't own their songs. Me, I do own every single song I have out there. 100% of it. Not I don't work for Universal that give me 8% per song. I own 100% of all my songs that you hear. So I can see how much it generates every month. And I can imagine if I owned, because I also own 90% of the song created by Sumia, by Elisio, ABG, and other songs. So I know how much I can generate from that catalog. If that catalog was multiplied in size by 100, listen, I would make 1 million every 3 months. I know it. It's just that you have to either build from new songs like I'm doing, but you can also build by buying stuff from people. Well, listen, you can even go in places where some people don't even have their songs or never had their songs online, and you can buy catalog, you can buy songs, you can have young beat makers and that are just creating amapiano tracks, and you can just find them out there in South Africa or in Congo, whatever, and you just tell them, hey, listen, hey, I'm buying 100 beats. How much for a beat? 50. All right, listen, I'm buying every beat you ever made for 5,000. Wow, yeah, that's 100 beats, and now you just release one by one with the name of that artist. It's not a problem. The build is to create the catalog, is to have enough songs that all of a sudden you are generating an income, and passive one, that you make money while you sleep. So yeah, I believe that's interesting. I would not say that I would never sell, but not under a certain price, because I know how much I would make in 20 years. To me, if I had to sell, it would be the amount that I would made in the next 20 to 30 years. That would be the price that I would sell. If not, no, I'd rather give it to my kids. But first you have to build the value of it. But that's very interesting to talk with people who are in the financial markets, because they give you another perspective on your music. But hey, listen, it's been 2 hours. It is midnight and 30 now in Lisbon, Portugal, which means that it's time for me to go. Listen, I hope you enjoyed that conversation. I hope it gave you some idea if you are an artist or if you are a music lover. Or listen, we're talking about music here, but you could do the same thing with just a room with washing machines. Listen, one room, 5 washing machines in there. I don't know how much it costs, right? But once you build one, it makes money by itself. Let's say you make, I don't know, you're in a place where this doesn't exist and people start using it a lot, and maybe they pay with a a credit system that you implement where people have to go on the website, fill their cards, and then they can use it, something like that. Or maybe they can just put some money. But let's say you have a credit system, right? So let's say your first Lavomatic generates, I don't know, 5,000 a month. Let's say, just let's imagine 5,000 a month. Let's say you have to pay the rent of the room for 1,000, and then machines, soap, maintenance, whoever works there. Let's say it costs you another 1,000 a month. So you make 3,000 of revenue per month. After a few months, let's say after 6 months, you made 6 times 3,000, and you take that money and you open a new one in the right location. Bam, bam, bam. Now you have 2 of them. They're generating 10,000 a month. The rent in both places is 1,000, so you have 4,000. Now, maintenance, etc., is the same person that has to buy a thing and take care of all the machines, so it's only 1,000. So let's say if you divide into every now both places bring you 3,005 a month. You wait a little bit. Now so you have enough money. You had 2 locations. Now you're making 20,000 a month and 4,000 in the rents plus X amount of this. Now you can go to the bank and say to the bank, listen, I have this amount of Lavomatics that I'm making that money, blah, 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 blah. I need you, I can put in collateral of 2 of my places. I need you to give me 500,000. You take your 500,000 and instead of getting new places, you now buy some locations. Or you buy one prime location when you do a big one that will generate 15K a month. But this one you own the place. Boom. This one is generating this amount. And with the rest of the money you have, you invest in another 10. And one day, you might be making $1 million every year just from people washing their thing. And then you add a new service to all your 10 places, which is instead of bringing their thing and getting them all wrinkled, you offer a service where you go to their house and you recuperate their laundry, you clean it in your Lavomatics, and you iron everything. They just have to pay $300 per month. They can take and all you have to do is pay for people to go get the clothes for people, bring them, clean, iron, bring them back. If you have, I don't know, 10,000 people paying you 10,000, that's a lot of people. 1,000 people paying you 300 a month, you make 300K a month. Listen, you can apply these strategies to bakeries, to this, to that. Let me get out of here. This show is brought to you by Shadaware.com, the gods of good fortune. Thanks to our stream royalty, Mr. Black Freethinker. Thank you so much for your donation. Thanks to all the sponsors. And listen, I hope you enjoy the show. I'm gonna leave you today with a new track that was released last week called We Could Sail Away by me, Shelly M, and Lil Maro. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, let me know. Don't forget to put some heart, and don't forget to share this to your friends who might be interested to be inspired by the things that come on my brain. And I will see you Wednesday for the special November Q&A. All right, my people, this was Club Shada. I hope you enjoyed it. Bless. And don't forget that you can come to the Discord where we can continue the conversation instead of only seeing each other once a week. All my people, bless. Well, that would be better if I put the sound. All right. Like I said, bless.
No sé lo que tú me das, pero sé que quiero más. Desde que te vi en el club, all I want to kiss you, yeah.
We could celebrate a night. Live it all beyond forever.
Yo me voy contigo, solo cuando hielo. Come I need to feel you. Y Maya siempre conmigo. Vámonos, run away. Anyway, every place. Closer of you, I'm safe. Yo no sé lo que me das, pero contigo quiero estar. No matter, no, how far. Me voy contigo si te vas. Run away with me, yeah. Run away with me, run away with me, oh. Run away with me, run away with me, run away with me.
Baby, we could celebrate. Run away with me. Run away with me. Run away with me. Baby, run away with me.
No sé lo que tú me das, sin ti ya no quiero nada.